This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're at the Bio CEO and Investor Conference 2019 in New York. With me right now is Dror Ben Asher from RedHill Biopharma. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is RDHL. Dror, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
It's great to have you on. So for our audience, we'll start off with an overview of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you. Well, RedHill is listed on NASDAQ. We are focused primarily on gastrointestinal diseases in the United States. And we have a very rich pipeline of products that we are already selling or are in late clinical stage.
So let's get a history of the company. When did it start, and how did you develop to where you're currently at today?
The company is relatively young, exists for about 9 years. We have been very busy developing our drugs and are currently on the US market with 4 products, marketing to thousands of clinics. And we have been very successful in completing quite a few clinical studies to date. A very strong shareholder base, including some leading institutions in the United States. And recently we have successfully completed a large phase 3 study for H. pylori infection with a drug called Talisha.
And for those who may not know, what is the H. pylori infection?
H. pylori infection is both highly prevalent and is also the number one most likely cause of gastric cancer, multiple lymphoma, and stomach ulcers and other nasty conditions. It's a major healthcare concern to governments around the world, to the World Health Organization, and to the US government. One of the reasons we have received Fast Track development from the FDA has to do with the high priority of this infection and this drug.
Is it a food? Is it one of those diseases that's derived from the food we eat, or has it been found to be a genetic type disease?
It's simply prevalent among families, and it runs typically in the family, more often in crowded environments. Once you get rid of it, you are most likely not to be reinfected again. So the key is to get rid of the bug, and then unless there's some symptoms, there's probably no need to be checked again.
So tell me a little bit more about the technology behind the products that are currently on the market. How are they looking to treat all these various gastrointestinal diseases?
The products that we currently have on the market are products that we have in-licensed from other companies. Our focus today is on Talisha. Talisha is a next-generation H. pylori infection drug, and H. pylori is a major concern to governments around the world, including the US government. The reason for that has to do with prevalence and the fact that the bacteria, the infection, is highly resistant to existing treatments. We have overcome this by conducting 2 phase 3 studies with a novel drug, Talisha. We successfully completed both those studies. Our main ingredient suffers from no resistance, and we expect to be the only drug on label with a blockbuster indication, potentially to be launched less than a year from now. We plan on filing the new drug application very soon.
And what's the size of the market or the addressable market for Talisha?
Talisha has a huge market, one of the most prevalent infections. Worldwide, there is more than 50% of the population that's infected. In the United States, roughly 120 million Americans are infected. This is clearly a very large market. We are coming at it with a drug that achieved very strong phase 3 results with potential approval in the 4th quarter of this year.
So just to get that quick update on clinical development, you're currently in phase 3 trials, correct?
We have completed 2 phase 3 studies very successfully. The last one was completed in December 2018, and we are about to file the new drug application very soon.
And what's your background? I mean, how did you come into all this?
I grew up in Israel, served quite a few years in the military, and have spent quite a few years in academia, both in Europe and the United States, before turning into the pharma industry, has been busy for the last 10 years building RedHill Biopharma and focusing only on that.
Now, you addressed my next question a little bit earlier, but I wanted to kind of revisit it just to close out the interview here. What are from what you can tell us, what are some of the company's growth drivers now moving ahead?
Talisha is clearly our main growth driver. The drug has been largely de-risked with very successful results, very strong data. We are filing the new drug application. All goes well, we expect approval before the end of the year. And our plan is to launch commercially with our own sales force around the end of the year, maybe early 2020.
And Dror, where can our audience go and find more information about the company?
Our website is redhillbio.com, one word, plenty of information there.
My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're at the Bio CEO and Investor Conference 2019 in New York. With me again is Dror Ben Asher from RedHill Biopharma. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is RDHL. Dror, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.